Now, let's move along to Donald Trump revealing details of his falling out with Jeffrey Epstein, explaining at a press conference that, unlike others, he turned down offers to travel to Epstein's private island.
I threw him out of the place, persona non grata. I threw him out, and that was it. I'm glad I did, if you want to know the truth.
Mr. President,
and by the way, I never went to the island, and Bill Clinton went there supposedly 28 times. I never went to the island, but Larry Summers, I hear, went there. He was the head of Harvard. And many other people that are very big people. Nobody ever talks about them.
Gab, it should be noted Donald Trump banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago before the disgraced financier was charged with any sexual offences. What do you make of this latest commentary from the president on Epstein?
I was glad to hear those comments from President Trump, because just a couple of weeks ago he was saying, why are people interested in this? This is all a hoax, and people are still interested in this. I will say, though, that some of the left-wing media outlets are running these BS stories, just desperately trying so hard to link Donald Trump to Epstein, when we've all seen the images of Epstein and Trump socialising together. But as you say, if you go back in history, Donald Trump kicked out Epstein in Mar-a-Lago. This is before he was convicted of anything. Trump there said, you know, that Epstein stole people that worked for me. So I think it's good that he is also providing a bit more transparency as he continues to get asked about this issue. And now, while there has been a lot of noise over the past few weeks about the Epstein files, I think Donald Trump is absolutely right to start bringing up the names like Bill Clinton, who did travel to the island, Trump says 28 times, dozens of times. And we know that with Biden in power, he could have released the Epstein files. The Democrats didn't seem to be so concerned about it then. And it's only now that we actually are getting a bit of movement. We know that the DOJ has met with Ghislaine Maxwell. And I think the frustration is that there are potentially still a lot of, rich and powerful people that were connected to Epstein that may potentially belong behind bars. So, look, I think the push for more transparency around this issue is going to continue. And I think it's a good thing that Donald Trump is being more transparent and also making it known about his relationship with Epstein and how they fell out.
Now, let's go to the UK, where it's expected that 16,500 millionaires will leave the country this year, the highest exodus of millionaires from any country in the world. And I guess that's what happens when you impose ever-increasing taxes, a lesson perhaps for the Victorian government. Have a look at this discussion.
We might lose a couple of rich people, but in general, actually, people do stick around.
That couple of rich people, the study shows 11,000 people, because of the Labour non-dom budget, 11,000 millionaires have left. That's the equivalent of 500,000 average taxpayers. And you have to remember that the top 1% pay 1/3 of the income tax.
Caroline, that entire discussion was so fascinating, and the left just don't get it. There's got this socialist mindset. Everything is fine until you run out of other people's money.
And they just think that, people aren't going to change their behaviour or change their conditions to self-preserve. I mean, this is ludicrous. They tried super taxes in the 70s and the same thing happened. It's called the Laffer curve, and people will do whatever they need to do to protect themselves. And not dissimilar circumstances in relation to taxing of unrealised capital gains. They tried to bring that in Norway, and instead of raising the 120 million they thought, they went backwards 500 million.
Yep, people who have got money have got options. If they want to leave the country, they will. Caroline Di Rosso, Gabriella Power, thank you so much for your time tonight.